and welcome to a very, very cold mid-December here in Audley End, Saffron Walden. We've finally had the first frost. It's 5 weeks later than usual, and it has really brought the cold with it. We're now at about -2, -3 degrees in the middle of the day. So absolutely brilliant cleanser for the soil. And as you can see, it looks like Jack Frost has had a party here. So I just want to give you a little tour of what's going on in the gardens now. Even though we're not cutting anything, there's lots still to see and lots going on. Starting off here, where we've covered the ground from our summer annuals and several weeks ago planted these winter salad crops. At the moment I can't cut them, but as soon as the temperatures rise a little and it's milder, these crops should bulk up and feed us all winter. These are some of our summer annual beds. We had sunflowers, and this is Nicandra. It's frozen so beautifully right now. I think I'm going to use that in a wreath later. And we've got our perennial chrysanthemum beds, and the other beds are all full of bulbs that are going to come up this spring. And right now, even though it doesn't look like it, the soil is still being fed by the plants that are growing here. These are our dahlia beds. They are truly blackened now by the frost. I like to leave them for a good 2 or 3 really good hard frosts, and you can see everything's been desiccated and taken out of them now, which means that that message has got straight down into the tubers to tell the plants to stop growing and to create shoots for next year's flowers. So today I'm down in the gardens because I want to make a couple of quick winter decorations, a little bit different from the evergreen or foraged wreaths, and make something a little bit modern, a bit of twist on decorating at Christmas. Right, I'm going to show you something very quick. Don't need very many materials to make this, and it's a real expression of your own creativity. Very different. It's what I call a swig. It is a swag or a garland on a twig. Swig. So I really like to use hawthorn, which I've got a piece here. It's very frozen. I really like hawthorn because it's got lots of bits sticking out of it and lots of anchor points. But essentially, you just need a branch that you quite like the look of. It doesn't have to be horizontal. Whatever looks good to you. So this piece, I suppose it's modern because it's not the sort of traditional circle of a wreath, but you can use it as a piece of wall art. It can go on your fence outside your house, on your front door if you use something smaller. And essentially I use sort of wiring wreath making techniques to take pieces across my branch and then hang a piece of ribbon off it to make something that definitely reads as Christmas but much more contemporary. Okay, so these are little pieces that I've got left over from all my wreath making this year and for my classes. I'm going to do something with the evergreen pieces, and I'm going to leave them predominantly in their shape so I can really kind of read and celebrate each tree's individual shape. I'm going to build this up. One of my top tips is that you go with the weight of the branch hanging down and build on top, because you want the whole piece to sort of to hold and hang flat. I kind of want to turn it that way around, but I know it's just going to keep dropping if I do that. So firstly, make sure your branch is nicely balanced, and I'm just going to gather my pieces together and start wiring them on. Very thin grey binding wire, and it's almost invisible with these kind of plants, and I'm just simply putting my wire round the branch just enough to hold it on and twisting behind the main branch. It's one of those things that as you keep building up, it sort of holds itself together. Remember to keep your cut ends at the back of your piece. So I've cut from behind here. You can see So I can't see the very light colour of the cuts from the front, which really detracts when you see that. It's one of those things that you don't notice until you do it. Right, so we've got, on here, we've got hawthorn berries. We've got holly that you saw me cut from our garden, from our foraging wreath. And I've got crab apples, tiny little apples with different pines. I think that little bit of colour is really cheerful in the winter. Don't think that's going to work. Right, and I'm just taking a few bits of this honesty out because it's a bit heavy. Don't be afraid to cut bits out, and it gives it a bit of open, a bit of space for everything to shine. I'm going to cut some of these berries off as well. Right, something I like to do sometimes to finish off and to hide where I've put the wire is to use a little bit of sort of bunch of moss. It kind of sort of gives a bit of kind of woodland floor vibe, and I think it just adds a nice little gather to the bottom of my swig. So I'm just going to wire that on. Okay, so now I'm going to put my ribbon on my swig, and I'm going to make it a little uneven and have a piece hanging down. I'm going to tie it quite centrally so it's weighted well. And I've left a nice long dangly bit, probably a bit too long. Oh, I might give that little tie up. I'm going to use, this is the thing about these, they're very free, and you can sort of have an idea. You can just spontaneously work with it. Use that bit of wire, create a little bundle there. Right, I think that's all done. I want to hang it up now and have a check that it looks good in situ. Right, so here is my finished swig, my swag on a twig. I absolutely love these. I think they're so quick to do. You can just use a couple of pieces and create something really unique to you, and just really different and a little bit creative at this time of year.